Well, look, Ray Drops, you have the three of us on a Friday night. First of all, happy Halloween. We are
Yes.
not we're not in costume.
Nope. But
No.
what's up, boo? Okay. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Hey, candy is like $15 a bag. Are y'all giving these little motherfuckers any candy this year or not?
Right. Are you even opening
Well,
the door?
so back in the day, the way that it used to work, that I want to know if that's still the case, the porch light has to be on in
Yeah.
order for that's the welcoming sign. Okay.
It should be, but they don't give a fuck. You know, all rules and traditions have gone out of the window. They'll ring the doorbell and bang on it with the lights off. They don't care no more these days. They don't
My
even know.
my front door is really scary. Like it's a 12-foot high like iron door where it has black glass where I can
Mhm.
see them and they can't see. Like if I don't have the lights on the inside, like walking up to my house is really scary. Maybe I might just mess with the kids a little bit and then just like scare them. I don't know.
You
My,
should.
You should.
You
I
should.
I do. I'll film it and I'll share it with you guys on Monday.
That door is
But
beautiful
no,
too. I remember it. You just
Thank
made
you.
me think about it. I remember that door.
Thank
I
you.
have
Yeah.
to go to Dallas.
When?
I know, no, I have to make a trip. I do miss having some one-on-one time with Claudia.
Well, I
Hmm.
mean, they say I beg you to hang out, so I'm not gonna say it anymore. They're like, she's so thirsty.
Who says that?
In the comments,
Somebody
begging,
that ain't even got your number.
yeah, begging Carlos to hang out. He don't want to hang with her, begging for a job. I'm like, do you not know our sense of humor by now? How
Right.
No,
Right.
we all have a bit of the humor, and that's why for Halloween I am Dustin Ross because
hilarious.
Claudia. So like, I got my chain on or whatever, and fuck them motherfuckers calling me Justin and shit. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I don't read
Right.
them fucking comments, dog.
That's
Fuck these
right.
people, because I'm the man and I got everything going on.
That's
Fuck these
right.
motherfuckers, yo. So Raindrops, I am Dustin Ross for Halloween.
I love it, and this how I know I need somebody to play me in a movie because I want to look at the screen the way Whitney used to be looking at people sing her songs on stage. Like I want to do that. And that's
Okay,
how I felt just now. So I'm with
so there
that.
you go.
Yes,
All right.
thank
So
you.
for
Yep.
Halloween, that was me as Dustin.
Mhm.
Claudia, be Carlos King for Halloween.
Yes, bitch. Oh my God. I love all the girls. Oh, I love everybody. And I am not going to talk bad about anyone, even when they're wrong. Yes, bitch. Yes. Oh, hold on. I got some quinoa in my teeth. I am single out on these streets, so don't ask me any questions, but don't worry about who I was in Europe with. But anyways, yes. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And notifications. Yep. That's
Yes.
right.
Notifications,
Mm-hmm.
raindrop. Special show on Tuesday. I'm not going to say who it is, but
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. All right, Claudia. That was good. Okay, so Dustin, it
Uh-huh.
is your turn to be Claudia.
Okay. Look, let me see what the comments are saying. Hold on one second. According to the comments, they're saying that I don't know. It's not looking like I don't know. I'm just saying. I ain't saying. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just looking like. Let me see what the comments are saying. Well, see, me personally, I don't know. Fuck that. Listen, if she doesn't want to go do that's my girl Claudia. Yes.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Look, we'll do the real impressions when we go out. Okay, the ones that
Yes.
we hate.
or
Yeah,
instead of our new show.
that's
on
right.
stage.
That'll be good, actually. No, that'll be good. That'll be good.
Yeah,
And listen, it goes to show that as friends, we could do that. And like that was
yes,
that was actually funny. I love that.
yes. And Claudia's right
Yes.
because on our show we'll have a wardrobe budget for the holidays.
Yeah.
So just think about the things we'll do for like Christmas, the things we'll do for the Halloween episodes. Just think about episodes because it's gonna come back year after year, especially once we start snatching them trophies. So I'm excited.
I can't wait. I can't
Mhm.
wait to move to.
Yeah. Q1, Q1, Q1. Yeah.
Oh,
That
they
Mhm.
have,
Claudia Jordan, baby.
and that city has good men. Like that's where I have the best luck in that city. I'm not going to say the city, but that's the city I have my I've had
Yeah.
some.
Well, they tell you up front the fruit is big. So you know what I'm saying? I listen.
Not all the Big Apple.
You know what? The fruit was definitely big there. I will say that.
So yes, very excited.
And I love
Mhm.
taking a bite out of the Big Apple.
That's
Yes.
right.
They also have good weed and good mushrooms.
See, what else do you need? Industry, weed, men. You know what I'm saying? Good shopping.
Good Italian food, good
I'm-
Indian food,
I'm
good
trying to tell
Asian
you,
food. Yeah.
Lady Vance, bring your wife.
On that note, you imagine being sandwiched when you are in between two Aries. That is what it feels like when you're around
Make
Claudia.
you want to say you'd like to thank the Academy after you get out from the middle and on it. Okay.
That's a wet dream. It should be for you. You got
That's
all this
right.
fire around you and all. And I know everybody likes being rammed. You got 2 rams around you.
That's right. Big
I
horn.
like a good ramming.
That's right.
Who don't like a ramming?
The Aries ram. All capital letters like that truck.
And we
Ram.
got thick,
Mhm.
earthy horns too. You know what I mean? Like we just yes.
Can't even fingers can't even
my
touch when you put
I
them
like,
around.
I like when they can't like when they can't go all the way around.
Can't touch this.
I hope you guys are enjoying your Fridays as much as the 3 of us are. But listen, don't be sad. We will be back on Monday. So you
On
guys are
time
getting.
too. I think we're gonna be on time on Monday.
We are going to be on time every Monday. Maybe we'll see how the week brings us. But as announced this past Monday, due to the overwhelming demand, we are here to discuss the latest episode of the Braxtons and just in general, discussing the season overall. This is the second season of the Braxtons, because prior to that, they had, I think, quadruple 10 seasons of the Braxton Family Values, which is the longest running Black family reality show in the world. So they took some time off. The show came back last year. This is season 2 of the Braxtons, and it features Tawanda, Tamar, Tony, and Trina. As we all know, the great Tracy has passed away.
Rest in peace, Tracy.
Yes, rest in peace, Tracy. And let's just get right into it. Listen, this season is unhinged. It's like nothing I ever expected, anticipated, and to be honest with you, even wanted to see. You know, when it came to the Braxtons, I'll speak for myself. I'd love to get your thoughts, obviously, guys. I fell in love with this show because how funny they were.
Yep.
How they would sing a song on at the drop of a dime. How they would have funny commentary when it comes to their mother. You know, they made up a song called the Dingaling Song. They made up a song called Daddy. They made up songs on the spot. They were funny. And yes, there was always drama, but it was never drama to the point of what I'm seeing this season. And it is very, very tough to watch. So, Dustin, I'll start with you.
Sure.
When you learned that this season was coming back, were you excited that you thought, okay, we're going to get back to what we were introduced to on the show, which is, look, a group of sisters who are talented, funny, have chemistry. Yes, they fight and argue like siblings do, but, you know, we now get to like laugh again.
Well, listen, I was happy to answer your question. Yeah, I was happy to see them return, right? But for a bit different of a reason. These are Black women who mean a lot to the world, mean a lot to the 3 of us, mean a lot to music, mean a lot to television now, right? And so I'm a person who, you know, I support the arts. I'm a patron. I support the arts. So I want the show to continue. I want them to continue on making money and income in their own rights. And I want it to move forward, especially after the passing of Tracy. This show is literally titled after their family name. First, it was Braxton Family Values. Now it's called the Braxtons, similar to the change that Keeping Up with the Kardashians did when they switched from E to Hulu and became the Kardashians versus Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's kind of the same pattern, but this ain't it. So I was happy to see them come back, but I was not happy with what I saw once they did come back. For years, we've seen rifts between the sisters. For years, we've seen them have challenges in trying to have a peaceful relationship with Tamar. Each of them individually have challenges with Tamar. We watched that. We watched Tony flat out tell us, hey, if they were not my sisters, we probably would not be friends. We've seen all these things. And so after Tracy passed away, which was a devastating loss to them, I have siblings, you know, I would be gutted. Carlos, you have siblings. Claudia, you do as well. And so after Tracy's loss, you would think that they would be motivated by a desire to unify, to find some sort of bridge and bond, even in this late stage in their lives, but they can't do it. And we can break down the reasons why as we move forward. But to answer your first question, yes, I was happy to see them come back.
Man, I didn't watch the show before. I watched, you know, I've had, you know, me and Tamar have had a very tumultuous relationship, but I'm happy to say that we're actually in a good place now. We spent a month together in a house shooting College Hill, and she mentioned about this show that she's like, she wasn't fucking with it. She said she didn't want to go back. She was just gonna be like a friend of the show. And I was like, how can you be a friend? Like, it's such a big part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it'd be fun for any of them. Like, again, like I mentioned before, reality being draining. This seems like 10 times more draining than it would be with people that you're not friends with. You know, like at least on a reality show with like Housewives, whatever, you can actually separate. Like when the 4 months of filming is up, it's like, bitch, I'll see you when I see you, right? I'll see you when we get renewed and I'm making several $100,000, if not $1 million. With this, it's like, it's ugly. And then it's not over for them. Like family events, funerals, weddings. I mean, I was invited to Tawana's wedding and Tamar wasn't. She wasn't there. And I was like, wow. It felt bad, you know? Like I was like, damn. Like, and I wonder if it's because of the reality show making, you know what I mean, stressing out the family dynamics that maybe wouldn't be there if they weren't. Because you know, everybody got to pop off a little bit extra for TV. Oh, I'm not about to let a bitch read me down, even if she is my sister. You know, and it was so ugly this episode. And then I went back and watched the episode before, and I'm like, I will say this: I really love me some Toni Braxton. I've always loved me some Toni Braxton.
Yeah, the heavyweight.
I love she's the littlest one talking about. I'm a heavyweight.
Exactly.
I like that. I like.
Yeah, I like the sisters. Period. I'm sure we'll dig a little bit deeper. As you can see, Carlos is having some sort of technical difficulties right now, but he'll rejoin us shortly. And I like the Braxtons, but the Braxtons have got to grow up at a certain point. Okay. The childish antics that were fun to watch in the beginning, like Carlos mentioned, singing them songs and telling stories and being playful, that kind of got old fast for me. Because we're not watching people in their 20s. We're not even watching people in their 30s. These are people in their 40s, late 40s, 50s in some cases. Yeah. And so the playful nature of everything being a joke is just a little unrealistic at a certain point. And these women have very complex lives that they could easily feel, 48 minutes or however many minutes it is when a show is an hour long. They could easily fill up that time, fill up those blocks with things to show and things to talk about. But the focus seems to always be on the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody always done piss somebody else the fuck off. It's always a damn problem. It's always some sort of disrespect or talking about somebody behind their damn back. It's always that. You know what I'm saying? And when it's not that, they're acting silly. And so for me, although I want to watch the show go on and on forever, like it just lost a little bit of the connection for me. But I don't want it to stop. I want it to still be available for people to watch. I just got sick of seeing that shit.
It seems like they may love each other, but they don't like each other.
Very much. They
do not like each other. They can't stand each other in some regards. And there's like, I see a lot of what about me? What about my feelings? And like your feelings, but what about my feelings and how you hurt me? And, you know, it's hard to see past that, like how someone else might be feeling if it's just like all about what you think and what you feel. And I was like, I don't see how the show can go on with this level of animosity. And this is what, episode 3, 4?
3, I believe. I think this was 3.
Okay.
I think it was 3. Let me see. Let me check that before we get to lying.
Yeah.
It was episode 4. 4. You're right. It was 4.
So I went back and watched 3, and I'm like, if every episode is no one's having fun, because imagine if what the producers going through. If every episode none of them are having fun, it's just on 10 arguing. I don't see how the show can continue.
Yeah, Carlos so sick of it, he got off the damn screen. Carlos, I'm sick of these damn Braxtons. It cut off. See, so
listen, the spirit definitely blocked me from that. So let's just get into what happened in this episode that aired tonight. So what we did see was the continuation of this sisters dinner. So at the sisters dinner, Tamar, who decided to bring on her brother's daughter. So I want to make sure you guys know that Ashley, their niece, is the daughter of their brother, who has never been involved with the show. You may have seen him once or twice, maybe 5 times in the duration of both shows being on the air. His niece made posts about some things she experienced in her childhood, teenage years. I'm not sure exactly. She did allude to the fact that it was something in regards to an aunt's former husband, but I don't believe, I want to make sure legally I don't say the name, because Ashley never said the person's name, right, Dustin?
Nope, okay, never said the name. No, okay, but painted a colorful enough picture for us.
Yes, you know what I mean? So yes, and Tamar decided to have her a part of her live podcast to talk about it. Tamar received a cease and desist from the family attorney, according to Tamar. She walks into the dinner. She opens up a manila envelope. The ladies are saying they did not authorize this. They had no idea what's happening. They said their name wasn't on it. Tamar is livid because she said she was served at her doorstep, whereas the place that she lives with her minor child, Logan. And she's very hot. She's very heated. And from there, they're denying that they had anything to do with this. What I will say is this, just to really talk about a cease and desist.
Yes.
Okay. A cease and desist is a form of documentation. It's a legal documentation where you send that to prevent somebody from saying things, detailing things, repeating things that you believe is associated with you that isn't true. And it's sort of like it's a threat of, if you do proceed with this, I will take legal action. And legal action is a form of a lawsuit. Okay? Which is why Tamar said you guys are trying to impact my business. Claudia, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that the sisters had no idea? And by sisters, I mean Tony, Tawanda, and Trina, that those 3 had nothing to do with a cease and desist even coming Tamar's way, nor giving her address away when she said that her address is not even listed publicly.
No, I think that someone knows, but they're not going to say because they know her temper. They know it's going to be a big argument. Like, who else would do it? You know what I mean? I will say I've had to send cease and desist letters, and it does have to trace back to a lawyer, right? And you contact the lawyer and you ask them, like, who is this coming from? That's what they have that right to ask. Yeah, I do think it's someone that
does the lawyer. But to answer the question, does the lawyer have the right to disclose who it came from?
I'm not sure what the law is on that, but I've always had my lawyer say it with his chest. Yeah, tell that bitch it's from me. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's from me. Like, why send it? You know, like, because I think in the cease and desist, you have to like kind of say, like, I mean, in mine I've sent out, it's basically like, stop saying this and give an example of what they're saying that's like false or defamatory, because you're threatening a cease and desist is a warning shot for a lawsuit. So you document that you tried first, and then before you proceed to a lawsuit, right? You tried first before you, because you can't just come out the gate with a lawsuit. You have to at least try to give them some kind of warning. And yeah, I don't know how they don't know who it's from, because it's always been very clear who it's from when I've sent one out or when I've received one. I got one when I was on Real Housewives of Atlanta from your girl. She was mad, but we weren't lying, so we paid it no mind. look.
So,
Look, I'm gonna be Carlson. Well, that was bad.
So much. Look, Claudia. So much for the Halloween costume, right? Okay. I Dustin tonight. Go ahead, Dustin.
so okay, let's zoom out here, right? Number one, a cease and desist come and go every single day. When you work in media, when you work in the business of opinion, when you work in an area where people's information can be commodified in some sort of way, and you have access to it and to disperse it, you are vulnerable to receive a cease and desist from somebody who didn't like what you had to say, right? That's something that happens. My question, before we tap further into that, I have a producer question for you, Carlos. So do you believe that the cease and desist was issued from, she said that, by she, I'm meaning Tamar Braxton, said that the cease and desist came from their family, the Braxton family attorney, right?
Yep.
Is that deep? But
I couldn't find the date by Sia meaning Tamar
I'm
Braxton
sorry.
said that the cease and desist.
Siri had activated on my computer. Anyway, so do you think that the production company, that the WeTV, the network, or maybe some of the producers of the show wanted to interfere with that conversation taking place between Tamar and her niece Ashley Braxton? Or do you think it would have had to come from one of the sisters?
Listen, that's a great question. I emphatically do not believe that the production had anything to do with sending Tamar's cease and desist to stop this from being a topic of conversation. And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, number one, it's unethical. You don't get involved in altering the reality of something in a legal context. Secondly, the production company filmed Ashley talking to Tamar about this. When it comes to the cease and desist, look, I always look at things as behavior, right? And the disposition of folks. When she said you guys have the family lawyer, their reaction to it, to me, didn't seem like they didn't know. They didn't know. They were very calm about it. And
the same way they were when Tawanda made that allegation against Tamar about sleeping with one of Tony's past boyfriends. There was a very even keel, lack of reaction from the ladies. And I think that's kind of what you're referring to in this case. When she did mention the cease and desist and question the origin of it, nobody really said. I mean, I kind of think that's where you're going with this, right?
Yeah,
when
well, they knew.
They knew.
Yeah, I would have said absolutely not. I didn't do that. Why would I? So I always look at things what people are, not always what they're saying, but what they're not saying. Because I would have been like, I would have never done that. And you also have to look at the show. They never fully addressed it. I've watched all 4 episodes.
My lawyer is calling. I text him to ask him. Should I ask him on the air?
Yes, go ahead, please. Let him know he's being recorded, please.
Chris, where I'm recording right now, you're on my I'm on air, so I just have to let you know.
Okay.
My question about cease and desist, like, can someone
anybody? You don't have to be just a lawyer.
Right, but say I sent one to somebody, right? Can I do it anonymously, or my name has to be on it, or no?
No, you really should sign your cease and desist so they know what's going on.
Okay.
They know exactly who they need to leave alone. They know exactly what the issue is. And yes, anybody can sign their own cease and desist letter.
We're discussing a show where these ladies are saying that their family lawyer sent a cease and desist, and everyone's acting like they don't know where it came from. So I was wondering if it could.
Claudia, asking by law, do people have to identify the origin of it?
Right. Do they have to identify the origin of the cease and desist?
By law.
By law.
Well, you need to understand the issue. If I'm going to send a cease and desist, and since we're on the air right now, this is just for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
Yep.
But if that's the situation, it becomes, I have to say, you are hereby demanded to cease and desist and whatever action that it is that I'm going to describe in the letter. Let's just say calling Claudia Jordan defamatory names. You have to let them know what the issue is that they need to be ceasing and desisting from doing.
Okay.
But by law,
they don't even know what the situation is.
By law, does the person who sent it have to be disclosed?
Does the person who sent it? Well, it really should be the lawyer or the individual that the subject matter is about.
Like say I was like, okay, Carlos King isn't talking shit about me, and I needed to stop. Chris, can you draft up a cease and desist? So you send him a cease and desist and say, I'm a lawyer. I need you to stop talking shit about Claudia. And
I would sign it in my own name. Yes, for you.
But does that basically say that it's like on my behalf, like I originated that?
It would be on your behalf. I represent Claudia Jordan, and Carlos, stop saying defamatory things about Claudia. Sometimes I've seen sometimes a manager write it, but it just can't be
anonymous.
Stop defaming Claudia Jordan signed anonymous. No, that's not the way it works.
So someone's name is on it. Someone has to put a name on it.
Yeah, somebody has to say. Somebody has to sign it and to tell the person that is directed to what action that they need to cease and desist doing.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna call you as soon as I get the air. Okay.
Thank you.
No, thank you. So with that being said, that's my look. I watched the show. So even when Tawanda and Trina were talking about it in their scene in the first episode, they were very careful with their words about what was going on, because the what's allegedly going on is the fact that it's allegedly somebody that one of the sisters used to be married to, right? Mm-hmm. And what they're saying is that this person is not here to defend themselves. Now, with that being said, they're questioning whether or not Tamar's intentions was to really help out her fellow niece, or did she do that to embarrass her family? Dustin, what are your thoughts? Do you think Tamar had the best intentions in helping out the niece with her story, or do you think that it was malice intent?
Yes. To both. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
I do believe.
Which one is it?
Okay. Because I do believe, listen, you got to consider the history. You got to consider the players involved. I do believe that there was a part of Tamar that wanted to help her niece. I do. I believe that. I also believe there's a part of Tamar that knew it was going to drive certain people in her family up a wall if this story was brought back up. And I think that because of certain existing issues that certain existing issues.
You sound like Carlos King now.
We didn't swap. Anyway, I think that because of some things that was already going on with her and her sisters, she wanted to piss them off. You don't get on TV cussing your sisters out the way that she was cussing them out at that dinner scene in this episode and in the last episode without there being some real deep shit in the waters between you and your siblings. And so, yeah, she wanted to help her niece. She also knew that that was some really uncomfortable, painful information for certain people in her family. And so I think she wanted to piss them off. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So like a 2-for-1, like, yeah, I am fighting for the integrity and to protect. I am being a protective aunt. This is her niece, right? Yeah, auntie. Yeah. But also the secondary benefit would be to piss these heifers off because I have an issue with them. I can see that too, because I don't think, like, if I found out one of my family members was, had somebody was touching her or what have you, allegedly, and everyone kept it from me, I'm flipping tables too. I'm gonna be mad too. So I think that's a legitimate response to be upset. But then you also have this other layer of you guys are public figures. You're on television. You have a show, and what you choose, how you choose to move forward. Okay, I'm gonna put her on a podcast. I'm gonna expose. I'm gonna blow the whole family up and not care because I don't really rock with them anymore. And I feel like they don't rock with me. So yeah, I can see that too.
She said she wanted to help her niece, and when in the conversation, Tamar made sure that she filmed the scene on the show where she was sitting down at a restaurant with her niece and stating on camera that she wanted to help her niece and offer her some help and resources that Tamar, I'm speaking of, she herself had not had available to her when she needed some help previously. She's alluded to being in a similar position of some sort in some way with her niece at some point in her life. And so she definitely laid that on camera. But Tamar also is a television producer. She's produced multiple reality shows for herself, and she's been a producer on the Braxtons the entire time. So Tamar understood the importance of that qualifying information being included in what was available to be shown on air, right? Because I'm not sure how much control they have over the edits, but Tamar knew she had to film a scene saying, hey, niece, I want to help you, and this is why we're doing this. This is why I want to have you come on my show. Because then when her intention is questioned, she has something to reference now, saying, no, look, I only wanted to help her. You can see I talked about it on the show. But the behavior that we saw displayed in that dinner scene contradicts that being her sole intention, because she referenced specific things that she took umbrage, no pun intended, because you know they call Tawana Umba, but she took umbrage with certain things, you know what I'm saying, with her sisters, and it motivated the way she reacted and responded to things. A cease and desist, although it is a defining, document, it's just not it happens. It's not something that's very serious. Okay, it can be serious, but it also can be a way to just tell a person you don't like what they're doing or saying. And I feel like Tamar took that cease and desist and the receipt of that cease and desist, right? She took that moment and stretched it as far as she could. Y'all trying to shut down my businesses. I'm a producer. I'm a singer. This is how I make my money. No, it's not. Tamar's podcast that she has changed names. It's not all people watch it, and it's a great conversation between her and some of her close friends, but it's not something that is the sole source of all her income. I would challenge that as a fact. So I don't think they tried to shut her businesses down. Somebody
I thought that was
a bit saying. Yeah.
I think that was a bit over the top to say that, because Tamar is a singer, a great singer. She has shows, she has reality shows. She's constantly booked and busy, so I don't think that would shut her down. I think, but Tamar, to her credit for reality TV, is good at bringing the drama and being dramatic. And I feel like that. I do feel bad if this was very painful for the niece in real life, that it kind of feels a little yucky, like her situation kind of got exploited for get back with each other.
Yeah. To be fair, she introduced the information. We had no idea about any of these alleged occurrences, right? Her niece, Ashley, who had been living in Spain, I believe, for the past, 10 years or something like that. She started making TikTok videos speaking about her experience, and that's what kind of set all this off. As a person who's been viewing the Braxtons, it does feel like Tamar used it to her advantage. It does.
Yeah,
it does feel like Tamar exploited it. I'm just saying how I feel.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what Dustin's saying, just so you're aware too, Claudia, the niece did a TikTok video saying that allegedly that one of her aunties, cut her off after the auntie's partner was inappropriate with her at the age of 16. And that's when everybody started to throw names out there without her name is Ashley, without Ashley even saying the name. And just to catch people on, this is what Ashley did say on the TikTok. So Claudia, I want you to know too. This is what she said on TikTok before the season even started. So I want to tell a story today, and the story is about how one of my aunts and my family do not talk to me because they think that I, at the age of 16, did something with a partner at the time. And I believe, hold on a second. And I'm sorry. And I have been a nervous wreck to talk about something like this and to tell this story, A, because of my family, B, because I don't want to hurt people. It's not to hurt people to tell my story, but at the same time, I've been working through this so much in therapy, and this is something that goes way deep to my core and in terms of worthiness and how I feel about myself. So that's how she started off her TikTok. And again, she started off by saying that one of her aunts just doesn't talk to her because of what, allegedly occurred when she was 16 years of age.
And that happens in Black families all the time, and I'm
Yeah.
sick of it. So I'm glad that someone put them up, put the behavior on blast, because that is not cute. And in that regard, then Tamar's right. You know what I mean? As far as like looking out for the niece, if that was the sole intent, was like, look, I really care about this, and I'm gonna elevate your voice. And whoever sent the cease and desist to Tamar about shutting it down and not talk about it, I think they were wrong. I think they were dead wrong for, I mean, yes, the person is no longer with us allegedly, right? But like that she shouldn't be able to talk about it because the person died. I think the F not. I
I
think
think it's funny that when Tamar did voice her concerns with being issued the cease and desist, not one time did she say, "Y'all stop me from helping Ashley.
it was
Y'all
about the
stop me from
show.
having Ashley tell her story." She kept saying, "Y'all shutting my business down. I'm a singer. I'm a producer. I'm this." It was the focus was only on helping Ashley per our view, the viewers. We only saw that being her focus and intention in the scene when she sat down at the restaurant with her niece and when they began their discourse on stage at Tamar's live podcast. Any other time she's spoken about the cease and desist on the show, her focus has been her being wronged by her sisters as opposed to a block being put in place between her and offering some sort of help or assistance to her niece. And I find that a bit telling personally. I think that Tamar, when her personality is corralled appropriately and housed appropriately, I think she's a dynamite television personality. I think she was incredible on The Real as a host. And I think that she is one of the best singers really of our time. She has a beautiful singing voice.
Yes,
These are
I agree with that.
personalities are subjective. People might like her or might not like her, but she's good at those two things. What we've seen her not be as successful at is being a friend, being a sister, being loyal, maintaining privacy when it comes to personal things between her and someone else. She constantly runs to the internet whenever she has issues with anything or anyone, and that makes resolution and resolve difficult because now you're inviting in a myriad of opinions and other perspectives to something that could have been handled between two people. So I'm challenged, really, if I'm being honest. I've seen Tamar habitually cross lines and boundaries of disrespect with her sisters over the years, right? We can go back to the scene when she went around the table and pointed out something that was wrong with everybody's husband at the table. Personal things like them being, having infidelities or having not been able to keep a job. These are
Your
fundamental
man's a
things.
cheater.
Do
Your
you
man's a
remember that?
computer with. I know, but listen, I'll say this. Yes, I'm a fan of the show.
Yeah.
Listen, I will say this. At the time, as I was watching it, I did laugh because I thought I didn't. This is my opinion. I didn't take it as deep, but I'm also not on the receiving end, and I'm not here to tell
That's my
anybody how to
point.
feel. Yes, but the scene Raindrops is when she said, "Your man's a cheater. Your man a computer whiz," because allegedly one of the husbands was like on the internet talking to other women.
Now I'm gonna tell you what I got a problem with, right? Here's what I have a problem with, because Tamar is not the only person at fault in this situation, right? The main conflict that we witnessed was between her and her sister Tawanda, okay? And this is not something new. This has been a recurring conflict or a recurring theme since our introduction to the Braxtons, right? Money, access, ego, pride, all those things play a part in this conversation, because as you see, when Tamar was lashing out or reacting to being sent to cease and desist by somebody connected to the sisters and their attorney or former attorney at one point, Tamar started talking about everything else. Y'all are jealous of me. She started referencing her looks. She started referencing monies that were given and whether or not they were a gift or a loan, and her and Tawanda started going back and forth. And Tawanda took advantage of the opportunity. It seemed to me as if Tawanda had an intention of, okay, I'm about to expose you. I want to change the way that people view you. I want people to understand that you're a bad person. who would do things that people consider disgusting and reprehensible to their siblings. So I'm going to tell this secret, no matter alleged secret, I should say, about you allegedly sleeping with someone that Tony had a relationship with, because I want people to look at you differently than they do. That's a deep down, intention for someone to have, especially your sister, when it comes to a problem between the two of y'all. And Tawanda continue to do insane things that I felt like crossed the line too. Towards the end of the conflict, Tawanda can be seen on camera, and shout out to the editors for making sure it was included. Tawanda was saying, let's call the police and let's press charges on her. Let's call the police and let's press charges on her. She kept repeating that in that scene, bringing up shit about kids. All of that was just lines. It was just lines being crossed that are difficult to go back from. Shout out to Trina Braxton. I think Trina Braxton regulated her emotions impeccably during that whole confrontation. Trina was keeping her tone down. Trina was trying to diffuse things, de-escalate things. Even when she would respond to some of the wild shit Tamar was saying, she would just be like, no, Tamar, I'm not.
Even when she got her hair pulled from the back, that would have set me off. Especially
Me too.
she was trying her best to be the peacemaker in between.
Mm-hmm.
She got villainized for it, and then, in the heat of the moment, you mad, you touch me, or you separating us. Let me get at her. No, that was what Trina did the right thing, and Tamar, that was such an ugly scene. It was so ugly for them.
And we all have the moments, right? They're not alone in that. Like, we all have moments that we're not proud of, especially can't nobody piss me off like my family. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't give a fuck about nobody
100%.
But my family's, like, disagreements internally are triggering for me. And so I get it, right? But I'm also not finna cuss my brother or sister out on TV like that. I don't even have if we have a disagreement. I was just telling my friend earlier, me and my brother, that's our love language. Fuck you, nigga. What the fuck? That's how we talk. Hello, what you doing, you ugly motherfucker? That's how we talk to each other. But if we ever have a disagreement, we remove all of that and we talk about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it in my heart to hurt him in that way or disrespectfully insult him. You know what I'm saying? So seeing Tamar and Tawanda just go right there, it indicates a lot of shit and a very, very broken relationship. They don't like each other.
I was going to say that I'm going to say I want to peel back too, because you have siblings. I have 9 of them, 9 siblings, and I'm gonna tell you what I saw as somebody who's the middle child of 10 kids who all grew up in the same house with the same parents all our lives. I did see a couple of things. I saw gaslighting, and I'll get to that. I saw passive aggressiveness, and I saw a deep need to expose, because I'm tired, and I'm fed up, and I'm done, and the world's about to find out exactly who you are. So what I will say is this: even when, and I want to go back a little bit to the moment about Ashley being on the show, and how Tamar told Tony, "You told me to get on the Braxtons," and Tony denied it. And Tamar said, "I swear on my mom that you did it," right? Only for Tony then to go in her confessionals to say, "Well, look, I did say bring her on the show, but in this way." So I do feel like this. It goes to show you that, yes, Tamar may be this big, braggadocious, loud person, right? And Tamar is as flawed as all of us. But I will say in that moment, I did feel like, well, if you're saying to her in her face, you didn't do it, only to then go in your confessional saying, well, I did do it, it does sort of present this notion that, okay, is Tamar being gaslit by her sisters? And one more thing, Dustin, I'm gonna tap you in, because I have siblings, and whoever has siblings more than like a couple, y'all gonna agree to this, and you'll agree with this too, Dustin. There were tons of side looks and whispers that was happening. So even when Tamar brought up the accusation of the phone bill, I told you about the phone bill. Remember the phone bill that Tawanda had in my name, and Tony said, you did say that. Then Tawanda goes, Yeah, but something like, is that illegal? Whatever what the words were. Something about was that illegal or something. And Tony whispers, it doesn't make it true. It was sort of like, okay, I'm really seeing moments of things being gaslit. And again, I'm not saying I'm on this person's side or not. I'm watching the show, but I will say for a woman like Tamar, who does have a reputation that she said people just think she just goes off on the ledge for no reason. I will say in that scene, I did see moments, so I'm like, to be gaslit in your face by your sisters. And then as a person who has siblings, who also does the little look to my other sister, like, look, I did see moments of like, okay, I could see why she feels this way in this moment.
I could too. I agree with you because I definitely recognize moments. Like I told you, Tamar is not alone in what made this dinner go left, right? Or what makes their dinners typically go left. There were other people who were involved. Trina was making faces and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though she did regulate her emotions well when it was time for her to actually communicate, her nonverbal communication was something different, right? Tawanda appears to have a mean, nasty edge to her spirit when she is in conflict with Tamar. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know what that reflects, but she appears to have a goal of shifting the perspective of whoever is watching or listening when it comes to Tamar. It seems like Tawanda does not like how Tamar is well received by some people, in spite of her behaviors that can be deemed erratic, can be deemed problematic, can be deemed childish, can be deemed whatever you want to deem them. She still gets a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Tawanda resents that because Tawanda feels like she has real issues to be upset with Tamar about. And she feels like her sisters have real issues to be upset with Tamar about. And I don't think she feels like Tamar deserves some of the success that Tamar has rightfully earned on her own, of her own merit, right? I think it appears as if Tawanda resents that a little bit. And so she tries to cut down the middle when she's arguing with Tamar. Why else would you bring up something like that? Yeah, Tamar brought up that down payment, but that's the kind of shit you do when you help each other out, when you siblings and shit, you know? But even that being brought up, it's just awful.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, and Claudia, I want to hear from you too. I'll say this: as a person that has siblings, I think they all cross the line with exposing what they do for each other. I don't like that. That's why I do feel like in that moment the gloves were off, and it was the first time that I saw the living legend Toni B. Braxton gloves being off too, because as the older sister, she always had this way of either I'm going to keep things here or I'm going to remove myself from the situation. I was surprised to see even her have her gloves off. And the thing with Trina, who definitely wasn't vocal, I will say, even when Trina said to Toni, you're a superstar, I'll say this. I didn't like that in that moment because you're sort of categorizing that one sister has more to lose than the other. And as a viewer, all you guys have the same thing to lose. Yes, Toni Braxton is the iconic Grammy Award winning living legend, right? But in this moment, that's your sister.
There you go. Thank you, Carlos.
Accolades does not matter in this moment. When I get to an argument with my siblings, none of them say that's the king of reality TV. Like you got. They like okay.
There's
yeah.
Go ahead, Claudia.
That was again more evidence of long-standing beef for many, many years. It was clearly a dig. Like the sister is saying, she's saying, you're a superstar. And looking at Tamar, you're a superstar. This is above you. Because they've had lots of arguments in the past. And, you know, I do think that Tamar probably feels a way that sometimes Toni Braxton does get that label. And as talented as Tamar is, which she was really, I think a lot of Tamar's issues is sometimes I do think she's correct in her stances. It's probably the delivery and that rubs their sisters the wrong way, so they get into it. Like it's delivery is like half the battle in tone. So even when you're right, it's like easy to demonize someone, right? And be like, look at her, she's acting up, here she go acting ghetto again, not acting like a superstar. When your delivery is on 10, no one really can hear you. They hear you yelling, they hear you screaming, they hear you seem aggressive, right? They're not really hearing, well, maybe she was gaslit a little bit. Maybe she does have a point. And then no one wants to feel sympathy for you because of your tone. So that's what and the sisters know that, right? So you keep your tone calm and cool and let your sister crash out. The audience will instantly be like, oh, here she go again, doing what she do. But it's obvious many, 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 many years of resentment, hurt, pain over whatever issues, jealousy. And I don't think it's all only directed at Tamar. I think that there's a lot of two-way jealousy in that family. And it's not for the things. It's not just like, oh, well, you made it, I didn't make it as big. There's just, people throwing shit in each other's faces, as we saw in the argument. That wasn't cool at all. Don't do shit for me if you're going to throw it in my face later. Do not do that. And I just think that they were both, there was enough blame to go around to the whole family with that scene, but it was ugly. And it's been ugly though. It's been ugly. This is not new. And
no, they don't like each other. Listen,
they love each other, but they don't like each other.
Yes, and that's real. You can love somebody but not like them. And I think Dustin clocked it. Toni Braxton went on record saying, if they weren't my sisters, I would not be friends with them. Yeah. She said it. She said out her own mouth. Toni Braxton also said that when they started, because Miss Evelyn Braxton raised her girls to be a girl group and to be, that as the career choice. When L.A. Reid saw the group perform, he single-handedly said, I only want Toni Braxton. And Toni Braxton said this out of her own mouth, that no matter what she accomplished as a solo act, her mother will always say, that's fine. Don't forget about your sisters. Don't forget about your sisters.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yes. And Toni has said that she felt that she could never enjoy her success because she was made to always feel like your sisters don't have it either. So even when Tracy, may she rest in peace, did say when Toni became solo and Toni worked with the other sisters, the four of them, to be in a girl group, when they signed the record deal is when Tracy got pregnant. And then Tracy has said this out of her own mouth, that she pretty much was kicked out of the group because she was pregnant. And if you go back to the records, the Braxtons as a group was 3 people. So there's a lot of history there. And I think when it came to what the conversations are about jealousy, you're a superstar, all of that, I think, unfortunately, I'm going to say this. I think the moment Toni Braxton made it as a solo superstar, I do believe the relationship between the sisters as a unit was forever changed.
For sure. Think about if you were, Dustin. Think about how the Jackson 5 were, like, they were a group and they went through brutal training to get to where they had to get, and the rehearsals and all that. And then Michael's the chosen one because he stood out like that. The kindest, most faith-having person is still going to feel a way. That is human nature, to feel a way. And then Toni is going to have that survivor's remorse. Like, I'm the one that made it. There's a lot of guilt that goes along with that. And you can be happy for your sister, but also be low-key hating and a little jealous at the same time. And you can't say it, right? Because you're supposed to. It's a complex place to be. It's a complex thing to like.
I don't know, Claudia. I don't like that friend. I don't know. I feel like
it's real.
Yeah, it's real, but I don't know. Just speaking for myself, you know what I'm saying? It's not about them being wrong or right or whatever, but like,
yeah.
I don't think there's any place for like jealousy and ego and pride and shit like that when in a close relationship. Like, I don't want to. If something good happens for you, I'm not gonna think damn, you know what I'm saying? That should be me too. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, damn, that's dope for Claudia. I'm happy for you. So I can only imagine if my brother and I did. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I question you though?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to go with the fact that once again, they were brought up as sisters to be a group.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it was always the 5 of us are going to make it as a group. Now, I know your spirit. I'm not saying you would do this.
I know what you're saying.
But if Claudia and Dustin were like Ashburn and Simpson, and or whatever, right? The dynamic duo, Sonny and Cher, right? Donnie and Marie Osmond. I'm so old.
Not Jared Osmond. Go ahead.
Clock and love you so
for
much.
The snowflakes. Go ahead.
Thank you. Salt Lake City. Shout out. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, stop. If you and Claudia were brought up since y'all were 5 years old to make it, and then at 20, Claudia has been hand selected to be ushered into the stratosphere, and you're left behind, there could be some resentment. And one example I will give, and I'm only saying this because they talked about it.
Yeah.
Kelly Rowland did a song called Dirty Laundry. And she talked about the fact that when Beyonce became the solo superstar, she said in the song, okay, guys, before y'all be like, it's her song. She said how it was difficult for her to see her sister on stage killing it because she was like, what about me? Yeah. Like, what do I do now that my sister has made it since we were 7, 8 years old, and I'm in my 20s, and my girl is the #1 pop star, and I'm figuring my shit out. So
it's like being happy and sad at the same time, and it's like you don't want to be an asshole, and be like hating on them. But I think it's human nature to feel that, like, well, what about me? As much as you try to quiet that voice, the "what about me" thing is real. You know what I mean? Like, we plan on doing something together, and one gets plucked and elevated beyond their wildest dreams, and you're sitting there like, I'm supposed to be happy because that's my blood, but fuck, why not me too? Why couldn't it be 2 of us, or why couldn't it be 3 of us? You know, so I get that.
And that's why I said I believe, and this is me having 9 siblings, I believe their relationship as sisters changed the moment L.A. Reid selected Tony, because he removed her from the foundation that was set by their mother. And that's why their mother, again, guys, Toni Braxton said it. That's why the mother always said, yes, baby, congratulations on your Grammy and all this stuff, but don't you forget about your sisters. And that's why I think when the Braxtons came along, that Tamar Braxton and her ex-husband, Vincent Herbert, paid for the pilot. And just so y'all know, the pilot was at Bravo first. And Bravo did not greenlight it, but WeTV did. That's why it did appear that, you know, it was like their second win, right? Like, this could be something that we all could do as a unit. But once again, I think that foundation was never healed, which is why TD Jakes couldn't even do it.
But think about the sisters. Okay, they had to go through it more than once. Okay, and on a lower scale, right? First, they were together as 5, and then Toni Braxton's out of here, blows up, and everybody's like, wait, what? What about us? And then after years later, then Tamar breaks out as a solo star. Another chance for the other sisters to be like, what about us again? So they had to go through it kind of twice. And then I mean, Toni Braxton is like, she's out of here. And Tamar Braxton is very successful too. So imagine what the other sisters got to feel. You cannot tell me, like, that's got to be tough for them.
I completely understand the point you're making. First of all, let me say that, because I'm not challenging what either one of y'all are saying. The way I look at things, I just would feel like, okay, if my sister is this superstar, wins the best Grammy you can win, right? Best new artist, once in a lifetime chance to win. She won it. She's loved by mainstream audiences all over the world, right? If I'm talented and me and my sister have a good relationship, that's opportunity for me to have access to resources, to have my talents be seen by others and have an opportunity, right? you pick up that basketball of opportunity and you dribble it. You work on your craft and you maintain good relationships and you showcase your art. The second time that the family got the spotlight put on them as a collective with this television show, to me, that's opportunity too for you to showcase your talents, do your thing, get opportunities, be good at what you say you're good at. If Tamar rockets to superstardom like she did when the show came out, that's more attention on the show, more attention on y'all. That's good for all of you. It's great for Tamar, but it's also good for you. And if they were looking at that as a second opportunity of being overlooked, I think the call is what they be saying. The call is coming from inside the house. Because to me, you had really 3, but 2 shots to like do your thing. You had 2 huge windows of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how you look at it overlooked. I get it though.
You're a mature, developed, highly emotionally intelligent person. Look how many other shows, groups, ... It just, when one gets the light on them, it makes people get jealous. They get angry. What about me? Why this bitch? Why her? Why not me? I can sing as good as her. She only got that because this, or some guy likes her. Whatever the spin is someone's going to put, you know, and a lot of times people say they'll be happy for you when you make it, but when it really happens, will they really feel that way? And are you being an asshole when you do make it? Are you flaunting shit? Are you throwing it in your sisters' faces? We saw some ugly shit in that scene. We saw some ugly shit in that scene. And then, you know, there's got to be more to that. That's what we're seeing on camera. So what is happening not on camera? Bitch, you wish you could be me. That's why I got an ideal and you did not. Who knows what the conversations are? You know, who knows? But at the end of the day, I think one thing we can all agree on, they don't like each other.
Yeah.
No, but you know what's funny? So listen, what's so interesting is obviously Tamar and Tony are still talking because Tamar went to the Versus last Saturday and was with Birdman supporting him. They FaceTime Tony Braxton. Tony looked amazing. Tony Braxton's such a diva and a legend. I love her. The glasses.
She's in the house with sunglasses on. In the house.
Looking like a bow cover. You can't take that away from that gorgeous
Tony
woman.
Braxton. You know what I'm saying?
She is, living legend. So the thing about siblings is this. You do find a way to get over it. My hope for the girls is this. I do hope that they find their way back, because I do think that the stuff that was exposed, we didn't need to know. But I also know that when your back is up against the wall, like Dustin said, no one hurts you more than your family. Mm-hmm. And you sometimes will say shit to get under someone's skin. I've done it to my siblings. Mm-hmm. I'm not exempt. I'm not exempt from saying the most egregious things to a sibling when we're arguing, and they said it to me. But we found our way to come back. And what's I'll tell you this, what's sad is the purpose of this reboot was to honor Tracy. And I feel sad that that's not the focus.
I never believed that personally. I appreciated the sentiment being shared, but I never thought for 1 minute they all sit down. They can't all sit down and talk, right? They can't get along. So I never thought for 1 second they sat down. It was like, we're going to honor our sister by doing this show again.
Yeah, no.
Y'all want to work.
I think honestly, I hate to give up on things, but it kind of seems like at this age, a lot of stuff's baked in. Like we can say therapy. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like
I agree.
I think it's a done deal.
Healing journey.
No, they don't. It is. I think at this point, it is what it is, and that's what it is, and that's it. Like, I don't think there's any hope. Like, and I think the best they can do is maybe see the show and be like, damn, I don't like how that looked. Let's play nice for the show so we can, like, let's get back. It's like Housewives of Atlanta. Like, it started off like so lighthearted and fun and like fun shade. Then it got dark and negative and fighting and all that. Like, what made people love these shows is the ability for it to be funny and shady, and then revisit and hang out again afterwards. And it did give me a little hope to see Tony and Tamar on that Zoom. I mean, on that FaceTime with Birdman, and hopefully that they can all get like that, because they all have a lot of personality. They're all pretty funny. Like,
for sure.
Yeah,
they're all talented.
And they're the closest. Tony and Tamar of the sisters are the closest, and the closest on the other side is Tawanda and Trina. You know, so it is for like this split group,
Trina.
but right.
Trina.
Yes, Trina. Yes, bam.
I don't think Tawanda's evil though. I do think
Yeah.
that I do think she's frustrated. I think she's frustrated for many, many years. I think they all are. Like, and it's kind of like a thing of what came first, the chicken or the egg. Like, I'm sure Tamar could point to, well, you did this to me first, and then I responded like this. And I'm sure Tawanda could be like, well, you did me like this, and that's why I said this about you. Like, it's who knows where it really started. I think so many things have happened where they both can have a case of who started it. But it's very clear that, you know, both sides have been very hurt.
Yeah, and I didn't like the mental illness comments. I just that was the one where I was sort of like, this is, listen, no shade because I got siblings. Sometimes you nuck and you buck as siblings. It's what it is. That I'll just be real. That didn't bother me as much as the mental illness conversations did, because I just felt like that was just something that I don't think should be included in any argument. You know what I mean? Like the notion of that, whether or not it was Tawanda's, point of saying you're sick, in terms of making light of that. She has to say whether or not she meant it that way, but I just thought like,
sure seemed like it, didn't it?
Yeah, I just felt like of all things, I just didn't. I didn't like that because, you know, Tamar has been open about dealing with mental illness and all those things, and I just think those type of conversations, it just wasn't a place for it. But I also think this. I think Claudia's right in the sense of these women. Some are over 50. I think Tamar.
She said 48 at the time of filming. Remember when she showed her body off to Trina in the heat of the argument and was like, "You're a jealous bitch. I would be too." 48. She tapped her butt cheeks. You remember that part? Yes. I remember that part.
Dustin,
did you see that part?
Thank you, Dustin, for the colorful description. Yes, I do. That's why I was sort of like, things got
you jealous bitch. Things. She was doing all that shit. You jealous bitch. I'm 48, bitch. That's what she was doing.
That's crazy talking. Yeah, that's a crazy fight to have.
Tawanda had that cast on. I don't know if I'd have been cussing Tawanda out because she could have, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All you see is that purple. You know what I'm saying?
Not the purple. But what I will say, I do agree with Claudia. I think, look, they're close to 50, over 50. I think at this point, and it's sad to say, but I've had lived experience too, like you two did. I just think at some point you get to pick and choose who you want to be part of your own family.
Can we give notes? Because while when you had technical difficulties at the top of the show, Claudia and I were talking a little bit more about the Braxtons in general, and I wanted to share this with you too before we get out of here. I'm tired of the formula. The formula needs to change when it comes to the Braxtons, right? These are people of a certain age, right? People with children, you know, grandchildren. Doesn't Trina have grandchildren? Anyway, I think one of Trina's sons may or may not be married or have a child. I don't know, but they're at a certain station in life. All we really have been getting from the Braxtons is either the sisters arguing, going for blood against each other, or else they're together and they're acting silly and singing when they talk. You know what I'm saying? Tawanda did it in this episode when she was on the phone at the dress fitting for her ladies of honor, which do what you want to do, but it's just confusing when everything's different, right? Like nothing is just what it is. Everything's, well, no, we're going to call him this. Well, no, we're going to wear this. Well, no, we're going to do it. Everything is off. And their daddy should have took his head off before he walked down the aisle too. But anyway, we see Tawanda at the dress shop trying this stuff on, right? And when she's talking to Tony on the phone, this is how you know somebody is like not really present when they talking to you. She was going, yeah, we at the bridal shop, getting ready for the Bridgerton shower. Tone say hi. Everything is singing. Nothing is really real. She don't be doing that shit when she talk to Trina. Her and Trina just be kicking it, talking. You know what I'm saying? That represents. Am I off here, or does that not represent like a lack of connection? You know what I'm saying?
Like he's talking to
we,
someone you don't really talk to that much.
yeah, we need to stop. And if they're not arguing with each other, they singing songs and making up. They being silly and childish in a way that used to be charming when the show first started. That's what we loved the most about seeing them be together and make up those songs, like you said, which we all love and still remember. We love seeing that. But now, 10 years later, the fighting or either acting childlike is really getting played out when there's a whole bunch of story in between all of that. Carlos, you're a producer. You see all this story that these sisters have that is not in the cut whatsoever. We got to change up the formula because the rest of that
shit it's listen, obviously I agree with that. I want to see them have fun and sing and create a new formula. You know, you're seeing some of that with the Kardashians. And their new season, whether people like it or not, it's different than Keeping Up. But to Dustin's point, there's a new formula involved in that one. So on one hand, it's like, yes, you follow the reality. The reality is this happened. But I think to Dustin's point, on the other hand, you saw them trying the elements of like the BTS, the producers being involved. So you're seeing something different than Braxton Family Values. But I think tonally, yes, some things have to change. I agree with you, Dustin. Yes.
And it's not just them. It's 90% of the Black.
It's a genre.
Every show is, ooh, such and such read her down and she cussed her out and she went on. And I'm like, Black folks, we are more than just fighting. Yes, we are passionate people. Yes, we get emotional. Yes, we go from 0 to 100, and you know, we put a little stank on everything. That's why we're the best people to watch on shows like Family Feud. We're so emotional. But God damn it, is that all we are? Is fighting, catching someone cheating, cussing someone out, embarrassing someone on camera, and like reading someone down? Like every single show is that nowadays. Every show is that. It's so like switch the name of the show. Like just insert the same storyline, different cast members, and it's dead. And that's why people are not as excited about hardly any of these shows anymore, because we got to get back to the funny. That's why with your show, with Bells, Carlos, it's nice that we have some drama, but there is still some opportunity for humor. That's what we're missing. Like if I want to see fighting all day, I can throw on CNN. I can throw on the news, and we want to escape from that. Like all we see is bickering with everything. And it's like, damn, like it's cool if there's a balance. Okay, fight. But then y'all went to a strip club and y'all laughed your asses off.
Exactly.
We enjoyed it. Okay. But when it's the scales, Miss Libra, the scales are just so unbalanced, and that's all we get. And that's why I don't really like, honestly, that's the main reason why I'm so late on a lot of reality shows. Cause I'm like, I just assume all they're doing is arguing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm seeing they're not all, it's not 10 for 10.
Not all. Yeah.
No. And I love, it's no secret. Y'all know I watch all the fighting shit. I love Zeus. I watch Now That's TV. I watch all that shit. But let it be that. Call the show the Braxton Ass Beatings and put it on Zeus. You know what I'm saying? And let's make it that, if that's what we're gonna watch. Otherwise,
let's not pretend it's family values or
that's right. And y'all rooted in the church. 1 minute y'all want to be rooted in the church and everything is about the Lord and gospel and our upbringing. But Tamar is on verses with her tongue stuck out, bobbing to the same music I'm singing every word to in my worldly home. So you know what I'm saying? I don't
not worldly home.
Here. You know what I'm saying? The balance here is the misalignment. Be who you are. We love the Braxtons. As much as Tamar has done things that have been difficult to enjoy, I still love Tamar Braxton's talent, right? I think she's an incredible singer. I think she's a brilliant television personality. I think Trina Braxton is hilarious. I think Tawanda Braxton is interesting. I think Toni Braxton is iconic. I want to watch the show. I want to see them and see what's going on in their lives beyond what we know about them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see them clawing blood out of each other's necks as sisters. I just don't want to see that. So, but shout out to them. Like I said, I want the show to continue. May they have multiple seasons. May it continue. And hopefully we end up seeing them find some sort of peace and some sort of bridge of harmony and togetherness as sisters, because they are, while they're cussing each other out, some of that pain might be from grief. I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think it's all of it.
Yeah. They lost their niece. their niece Ashley, her sister is the one who passed away. Tracy passed away. They experienced a lot of loss. So some of that acting out that we see is more than likely rooted in that. My wish is for them to find healing and get along and keep singing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I hope for them. That's why we so fucking frustrated when we seen Tamar turn around and show her ass cheeks to Trina talking about 48 bitch. They're hitting her butt. We didn't want to see them speaking to each other like that. We want to see them figuring it out.
Damn, I was just about to stand up and show my 52-year-old cheeks, but I won't do it now.
I'll
do
show
it.
my
You gotta call me a nigga, a motherfucker. Nigga, look at 30 at 52.
You jealous.
Yes, Claudia.
Nigga, you jealous of my 52-year-old cheeks. You wish you could have cheeks like this.
I didn't touch you,
jealous
Claudia.
ass nigga.
I didn't touch you, Claudia.
I didn't touch you, Claudia.
Yes, you did. You pulled my hair.
I didn't touch you, Claudia.
Tamar. We want y'all to get along. We really do. Tawana, we want you to get along.
Yeah, we do.
The fans, actually, at this point, getting along would be breaking news, and we would love to run with that. We would love to run with that. We would love to.
And I'll say this: just because they had this moment of verbal dispute or whatever, and Tamar pulling and kicking, at the end of the day, we saw Kim and Courtney slap the shit on each other.
Yeah, please, you already know.
Yeah.
Right. So for the audience, like, calm down. That's why I said. That's why I said I was less about because siblings fight.
Mm-hmm,
Kim and Courtney in their 40s fought 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They left half of Kim's face was on the wall. The makeup was on the wall.
Let's
baby.
So this we ain't unfairly holding them to a standard as anyone else. They're not representing black people. This is not that type of conversation. I speak for myself. I'm pretty sure I can speak for y'all too. But I don't give a fuck about none of that. We just talking about the Braxtons. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're not punishing them for misrepresenting. No, this ain't that. Everybody fight, everybody argue, everybody talk shit. All that stuff happens. We just talking about what we saw.
Yeah.
I never had a sister to fight. I have a half sister, but I didn't know about it was like when I was older. So I never had like any fights like me and my brother when we were little, but not really. Like I don't know that life. I really don't. And even with my friends, I rarely have fights or arguments with my friends. Like when I lose a friend, it's a big deal for me. Like I be going through it because I'm like, how did I lose a friend? Like it's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm the youngest. Like my siblings ain't never made me feel like that little boy shit or whatever. We always been down, friends, always been like.
And Dustin has a very all your siblings are supportive.
Yeah,
but I met the one that came to Atlanta.
Yeah, my sister. Yeah, my older sister.
So sweet. So
she's the oldest, and I'm the youngest. So you've seen it for yourself. You know what it is.
Yeah,
like,
I get it.
I don't. My experience might be a little different. That don't mean we don't get on each other's nerves and have disagreements and challenges in our relationship. Of course you do, but I'll be damn. It ain't nothing I can say. That ain't nothing nobody could do to make me turn on my brother or my sister.
Do y'all think I know we gotta go, but a lot of, like I say about relationships on reality shows, a lot of this is just escalated because they're on television and they're doing it in front of people. Like I think it's a thing of I can't get read down. Oh, okay. And then the comments, you ain't gonna let your sister talk to you like that. I think things get escalated and extra batteries get put on backs because it's a TV show. I bet you it wasn't that ugly before they got on TV. It's probably ugly, but this level is just.
That's why you got to be all right up here with it. You know what I'm saying? To where you're not motivated by. I think Tamar and Tawanda, based on what I saw in the show, they appeared to be motivated by a desire to win the argument and shame the other one. And that's ego and pride. You know what I'm saying? And history as well, but that's rooted in ego and pride. You can't be in that headspace. You got to be present and remember who you're talking to. Remember what the relationship is. Remember how much you value it. And that will impact the way that you communicate with a person. Of course, you're human and you have emotions, you have feelings and thoughts and shit, but you need to be able to take another step in thought and consider the person, consider the relationship, consider what needs to take place for things to be good. as opposed to for you to avenge something, and then you can make progress. And I think that we just didn't see that in these 4 episodes from the sisters. We saw, no, bitch, I'm gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we saw.
I know Mama Evelyn must be so stressed out, like seeing her daughters fighting. Like it's probably like,
Yeah, especially when
gotta
she
be
was
hard.
going through the heart issues this
She loves
season.
them.
And oh no, those are her baby, those are her girls. And that's why, look, I will say this. Sometimes you have to see yourself on television and be like, got it. You know, like, so my hope is that the sisters were all able to look at this and hopefully move on from it and see the errors of some of the ways. But look, we have, I think, 6 more episodes to go to this season. The only thing we know is, as of today, the only thing we know is Tamar and Tony are speaking to each other. We have to watch and see what happens. But in next week's episode, it does appear that Tamar is not at Tawanda's wedding. So we will.
Oh shit! I spilled the beans on that, didn't I?
No. No. That's already been teased for the show. So yeah.
Honestly, when I was there, I was thinking, nah, like maybe because they were filming while we were there, right? We had to sign releases, put our phones away. Part of me was like, nah, man, like at the last minute, she's gonna walk through and it's gonna be like a big, you know what I mean? I thought that. I was actually kind of hoping for that for them.
Yeah.
Because like it felt a little like, damn, how am I here and she's not? You know, I felt kind of bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So no, look, my thoughts and prayers are with the entire Braxton family. And look, my advice is this too shall pass. And just really try to. I'll end by saying this for me. I think at the end of the day, there's a respectful relationship to have. I think based on people being 50 plus, I'm not here to ever advocate that you must be best friends with your sibling at this point. And I think if that's not what's happening right now, it's okay to say, I love her, but I can love her from a distance. I'm cool with that. So.
Me too. I'm actually fine with that. I would prefer that, because if you harboring some resentment and shit, I don't want you pretending to get along with me and being around me. I'd rather you be upfront, like, yo, I don't fuck with you. I'm not going to. Hey, 7, I don't fuck with you. I'm not going to. So get from around me. I'd rather you do that. So I agree, y'all.
I don't think you should have to force something because of your family. Like
me either. I don't believe in that.
Yep, you stress me out. You my cousin, my aunt, my mother, or my brother. Sorry, I'm not living like.
Which is why you appreciate the ones that do you right even more, and you take advantage of opportunities to show love to your friends and family who, when things are good, you should make note of that. You shouldn't always tell a person how you feel about them because y'all are in conflict and it's negative. Tell people how much you love them. Tell them how much you appreciate the role that they play in your life when it comes to your friends and family. That's important to me. I feel like my friends and family that I love and fuck with like that are supposed to know it. Yeah. Because it affirms the relationship and makes people feel safe when it's honest. You know, when somebody blowing smoke up your ass, but big your friends up, big your family up. You know what I'm saying? And just make sure that heartbeat is there in those relationships. Because as you can see, the absence of it looks crazy. So
yeah, agreed. All right. Well, listen, I love you too, as if we were all from the same womb.
That's right.
So know that.
We all split out. Same person, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. 2 Aries and a Libra, baby.
That's
what a time.
Cardio, we twins.
Right. Hey, twins.
Siamese twins. Okay. Ray drops. We will see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend and happy Halloween. And don't forget, daylight savings time is on Sunday.
That's right.
Happy Halloween, y'all. See you Monday.
I love y'all. Bye.
Love y'all.